Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Tim Hart, host of the Heartbeat Show podcast. Thanks for being with me today. I'm also the branch manager here in Fort Myers of Van Dyke Mortgage. I got to mention that because it pays the bills. So today on the show, we got a guy I've gotten to know over the past few months. Really cool guy, super nice, and he's cultured, unlike me. So Eric Raddatz, how you doing today, sir?
I'm good, Tim. Thanks for having me on your podcast. It's a real honor.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you being here. So, Eric, before we get into it, right, we're going to be talking about the arts in Fort Myers, and you got a lot of insight into this. I'm going to read what you do here in Lee County, and this will tell people that you have a lot of insight. You are the Florida Weekly presentation editor. You are the executive director of Fort Myers Film Festival, and you are an NBC2 contributor, I would imagine, about the arts as well?
Yes.
All right. So you are well qualified, sir. So let's get to know you for a quick second. Why don't you fill us in on maybe how you got to where you're at now with wearing all these different hats, because that's a lot of stuff.
I thank you. And it sounds like I am somewhat important, but just a regular guy. I was interested in the arts and photography and film when I was originally living in Chicago, where I'm from.
Okay.
And at a young age, I had a paper out, and I would the money I earned, I would buy stuff like a camera. I was into photography and took 4 years magnet school in photography and arts, and worked for the newspaper. The Herald News, which was owned by Copley Newspapers, now by Sun Times in Chicago, and was interested in visual journalism. That's really that's been my career, visual journalism, reporting on news and business and entertainment and the arts. But I grew up with a mom who was kind of a dancer, and my dad who was a photographer and designer. And so as I took an apprenticeship at an early age with a news magazine, learning the intricacies of back shop, press work, photography, design, writing, turned into also covering things happening in our community. And so in addition to my kind of career, it had been this interest that turned into becoming an extra in a few movies, and I'm on IMDb, and it's not a brag thing, but the stories are interesting because we were doing a story on Stir of Echoes, which is kind of a crazy film. And
is that with Kevin Bacon?
Kevin Bacon, absolutely. And Katie.
So you are part of 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon.
Right. So you technically.
I'm on 2.
You're within one. You're within one now. So from this interview, everyone is in within one of Kevin Bacon.
If you know Eric Raddatz out there, you win the Kevin Bacon game because you're right there. You know him?
Yeah, well, we didn't become friends at all. I was on set with him.
You're best buddies. It's okay.
No, I did a bit role, and in fact, they said, "Do you want to be an extra?" This is back in '96 or something like that, and I said, "What's an extra?" And I got to work with, Katie Erb. They had me bump into her, so I met Katie, and Kevin would do push-ups before each of his scenes because it was an underground scene in a railroad in station in Joliet. And I met all these extras, and I said, wow, I didn't even realize what extra work was. So I got an agent, and you can look at my IMDb. I've been in a few films. I did some work with the TV show ER, Just Visiting with Jean Reno. And then when I moved to Florida to take a job with the News Press, I also continued working in movies like Stuck on You with the Farrelly Brothers movie with Matt Damon, Eva Mendes. So this isn't a name drop.
What's his name? Craig Kinnear?
Huh?
Craig. What's his name? Craig
Kinnear was in there.
Kinnear, yeah.
So, and it's fun because you really learn the background of making movies. And the Farrelly Brothers sets were particularly exciting because, if you're a fan of the Farrelly Brothers or there's something about Mary type of comedy, then you'll know that they work with the same team. It's a very comfortable set. And I thought, I should make a movie. It seems like I could do it. So I wrote and directed and produced A Day to Love and Die, Barely a Chance, of my own, shot here in Fort Myers, all alongside kind of weekend warrioring it while still, keeping up with a career and a family. And those movies that I did are not even close to masterpieces. They're not good at all. In fact, it's almost embarrassing because I was really just starting from scratch, not knowing. But it taught me a really few good lessons about the importance that it's hard enough just to do things like write a script, like prepare for extras, like produce a film, direct, but to do it well and to do it with excellence. So I have a point of reference in getting into the business of knowing, the importance of that. And I said to myself, there aren't a lot of film festivals in Southwest Florida. So in 2009, I started the Naples Film Festival. We opened with a little movie called The Cove by Luis Sahoyas, who happened to win an Oscar after we played it here. And then in 2010, I started the Fort Myers Film Festival. And being involved from covering the arts, I certainly was comfortable having the discussion with those who were involved in spearheading the arts in Southwest Florida. And so the relationship has been covering with and working with and partying with and sharing in family events with kind of the Southwest Florida arts community. I'm not sure what of that is most interesting to you, Tim, because I feel like I'm already blabbering too much about it all.
Hey, you're
Point me in the direction of the interest of your podcast, you or these people who are listening to this. I don't know.
Yeah, well, dude, I just kind of let you go because, like, that was really interesting. You've had a really, I don't know, neat path to where you're at right now. I'm over here thinking, I'm like, damn, the only thing like I've done close to famous was like meet Macho Man Randy Savage, like in a bar,
Well, and everyone has story, and that's we're all interested in stars, and so and then when you get to meet them, you kind of go home. You're like, well, they're not different than you and I. Like Katie Urban, Kevin Bacon, and Matt Damon, and Eva Mendes. When they go home, they have more attention on them, but they're just like us. They go home. They want to spend time with their families. In a way, I would say, Tim, we have it better than them because we have this factor of anonymity.
Right.
That they really do long for. I mean, careful what you wish for in life. It comes true. And these guys are stars because they're good. But the stardom has brought them a different set of kind of headaches. And it's kind of fun to be not that famous. And so, you know what? I'd say count your blessings that you're not a superstar. And I'd even caution you, if you're thinking about becoming one, Tim, give it a second thought.
No worries there, man. This face is not made to become a superstar, so we're all right. Well, let's start talking about then the arts in Fort Myers. I jokingly said I'm not cultured. We met through my neighbors, Don and Tara Malloy, who they are cultured. Been in their house a few times. Their style and everything, like you can tell, like they're in it. Where I'm over there hoping everything's just beige, like.
I don't know. Really?
Huh? Normally, yeah. My wife always makes fun of me about, oh, God, just make it be beige so Tim likes it. Like, yeah, I'm that guy. Sorry.
Well,
but doesn't mean, Eric, I cannot expand my horizons, buddy. That's why we're talking.
Well, and I would say this doesn't make you in as much a lesser person whatsoever. I think sometimes, culture can be very overrated. I will say that if we want to talk a little bit about just kind of like Don, he's the type of guy that I tend to really enjoy a conversation with because, well, we share similar interests in film, but everyone's got it. You don't have to be cultured to have a favorite film or want to go see Beauty and the Beast at Broadway Palm Theater or go see, Jerry Seinfeld at Barbara B Mann Performing Arts Hall. These are all things that, everyone knows is exciting. In being engaged in Southwest Florida arts, we have Florida Repertory Theater, the Sidney and Vern Davis Arts Center, the Alliance for the Arts, Barbara B Mann Performing Arts Hall, IMAG Theater, the Southwest Florida Performing Arts, the Gulf Coast Symphonies, the Symphony Orchestras. We've got improvisation. We've got the Hertz Arena. I mean, we have acts that are coming here now. We're getting Hamilton in 2020. What?
I didn't know that.
So Hamilton, Lin-Manuel Miranda, who did Hamilton, which I think if you bought a flight to New York, you would have to spend more than it would take for you to just go down to Barbara Mann and watch Hamilton, the story about President Alexander Hamilton, a multi-award-winning, Tony Award-winning Broadway performance, which is at Barbara B. Mann, and I could go on about Barbara B. Mann Performing Arts Hall. They're frequently, Barbara B. Mann Performing Arts Hall, bbmannpah.com. There's always something there. The Alliance for the Arts is real supportive of the arts in Southwest Florida. And Lydia Black especially is excited about letting you know just how important the arts are to our community, not just the aesthetics, not just in us building an awareness of the importance of what arts do to us, mentally, intellectually, as a community, but also economically. And I'm not here to preach about that either. I'll say, coming to it from someone who runs the film festival, we're in our 10th year, and May 6th through 10th, 2020 is our big event. We're getting films that you would see at Sundance or Tribeca or Cannes or Toronto, right here in Southwest Florida, in an environment where filmmakers are coming here from LA, from New York, from all over the world. And they say, we like your festival because you're playing films not in distribution. You're playing films that make a difference. These are films that are impactful and that cause a discussion. And it's the type of thing that a big blockbuster film may not do. And in a way, that's a good thing for those who understand the importance of film. So Florida Weekly, where I'm the presentation editor every week, will put out a calendar of events. If you want to get a little more cultured, floridaweekly.com, of course I'll say that. Or watch NBC on Thursdays. I'm on Thursdays at 11 to 11:30 to talking about what's happening in town. This past week, we just saw Cirque du Soleil's Cotero. So I'm probably aging the entire segment by telling you what's happening here in town.
Okay.
But John Lovitz will be in town next week from Saturday Night Live. And I could drop some names here.
What? Where's he going to be at?
He's going to be in Port Charlotte at Visani, I believe. And tickets are like
tickets are 30.
I love John Lovitz.
He did The Annoying Man. Do you remember that back in the day?
Oh, and there she goes. Here she comes, and there she goes. That guy?
Yeah, he did. That was another. He had a lot of characters on SNL back when it was funny.
I know. He was married to Morgan Fairchild. But yeah, it's $35. I mean, we cover the arts at Florida Weekly, and I'm here to say that there's plenty to do in town if you're interested in becoming a little more culturally active. And it's painless. Just pick us up, floridaweekly.com, pick us up in stands, and go out and see a show, and you'll enjoy it.
Well, let's pause for a second here. And first off, shout out to Florida Weekly. No offense, news press. I love Florida Weekly because it feels so much more local to me. I really do. I love picking it up. When I get a chance to read it, I'll go through the whole thing. I think you guys do a great job. So shout out to you, your whole crew there. Thank you. But let's go back. I want to go back a second, though. And don't forget, if you're watching this, Jim Gaffigan's going to the Germain Arena sometime in December. I've got tickets already. My boys love Jim Gaffigan, especially my oldest son, who's 12. Thinks he's the funniest guy ever. So
he is hilarious.
Yeah, we're going to that.
Your culture, but you're like in the closet culture. Like you just need to come out and admit that you have culture, but it's maybe more comedic. Correct.
Yeah, definitely. Comedy, yes. You culture me all day in comedy, buddy. I'm there. But I am just kind of messing around. We used to go to different plays at Barbie Man. I enjoy them. I've seen some where I really want to walk out or fall asleep in, but some of them are really, really good, and I enjoy that.
Well, that's the kind of honesty that you have to have with yourself regarding what you're interested in the arts, and try not to go to stuff that you think you might fall asleep at or want to walk out on. And also feel free to walk out on or fall asleep at. I mean, honestly, it's just giving stuff a try. It's kind of like when you have a 5-year-old and you're trying to introduce them to new foods. And you try something, you might like it, you might not. It's
right.
Okay, but there's plenty to do. And some people, I particularly have been a film guy for a long time, and I see how the importance of it. It's one of the best avenues, I feel, to not just entertain and educate, but also kind of inspire and move people to not just understand, but have experiences. It's kind of an experience. I wish I could say that I had a greater background in kind of Broadway performances. Florida Rep, Broadway Palm Theater are two in town that offer that kind of experience. And like Hamilton at Barbie Man Performing Arts Hall. But there you're also always in an element of the arts which causes us pause to consider and then discuss. And it helps us to become more diverse as kind of a community and understand points of view and perspective. So I think it's true to my heart because it's just, in a way, it kind of keeps us all, we're all just humans on this earth, and trying to understand someone's perspective or point of view is a kind thing, and it's a thing that moves our community in the right direction, and it's a more peaceful approach to, and the arts contribute to not just that, but also inspiring and making us laugh. A good movie makes us laugh, and we can enjoy it as a family or by ourselves or as a couple if we're dating or if we're divorced and lonely. I mean, you can enjoy the arts no matter what your circumstances are. And I think I like that about it as well. Am I talking too much, Tim? I'm talking way too much.
Eric, you're fine, man. It's interesting conversation. This is what this is for. This isn't like we got a bullet point checklist. So you got to
I feel you're pretty chill. You're chill, so I'm.
Yeah, trust me, I'm not a professor. We're not drilling you. But I'm sitting there thinking, and I'm self-deprecating myself, saying I'm not culture and whatever else, because I love movies, and even started on my Facebook page and social media. We do a review when I watch a movie, and we call it Tim Dango, right? Fandango, Tim Dango.
Oh, okay.
And so hashtag Tim Dango. If you get bored, throw that into social media, and you'll find a bunch of them. Yeah, well, I got sci-fi and stuff like that, but I can get off and comedy. I'm gonna get off track here. I want to know about the Florida Rep Theater, and I want to know about your film festival. If you don't mind, let's hit the Florida Rep Theater first, and then let's just briefly discuss your film festival, because I think that's pretty cool, because you also started it all, right?
Yes, I started the Fort Myers Film Festival. I was the founder and director. Florida Repertory Theater, it's downtown. It's been going on for many years. It's something where, Wall Street Journal will come down and say, this is fantastic theater. And it's not in New York, it's in Fort Myers. It's got great support. It's got a history. If you go down there on a night, it's packed. People are, you're experiencing the finest theater. And it's right here in downtown Fort Myers. I want to say the same with the Fort Myers Film Festival. The films that people are seeing here, they're talking about later, because later they get picked up for distribution and are on iTunes and Amazon Prime. The films we play aren't in distribution when we play them at the festival, but after they are. So skip the ticket out to Sundance. Well, I love Sundance, but you don't have to spend $2,000 to go out there and $5,000 to stay and $2,000 for food and transportation. Just go to the Fort Myers Film Festival. Is
it on par with? And I know it's probably a much larger.
Hard, yeah. No, we're not Sundance. We're not that big. We're not Tribeca. We're not that big.
But what about the movies you get?
So for example, this past season, we played a film called Leroy Jones, Man and His Trumpet. Leroy Jones has played for the last 30 years, traveling with Harry Connick Jr. He's up there on par with the top 3 trumpet musicians in the world, and he's from New Orleans. So the documentary that we played, that's only played at maybe 2 other festivals, played at the Sidney Meridius Art Center in April, and he came down, and we had a jazz concert that seemed like it was just out of the middle of New Orleans or something. And in the documentary, which also starred Harry Connick Jr., I'm sure that's probably a more familiar name. You've got Harry talking about how, that basically Leroy Jones is the LeBron James of the jazz world. Once he's on your team, you're going to win. And we had Leroy here, we had his team here, we had the director here. We didn't get Harry Connick here, but I wish we had. But that's the type of film. The film that we played in previous years, one's called Alive Inside, a story that won Sundance Film Festival's Audience Award favorite. Had screened in Fort Myers before it went to distribution, about the importance of music with memory improvement for those with Alzheimer's dementia. And a whole nonprofit started and helped a lot of people who are battling these things. We did one called When I Walk, which went on to win Emmys on PBS, about a person who had developed multiple sclerosis. And we played one called Maya Angelou, When I Rise, which played here before it went to Chicago's PBS and then distributed and won an Emmy as well. The caliber of films are those type of films. In advance of their real national or international recognition or distribution, we're playing them here. And you can look those up, and they'll come here. The Maya Angelou film had Rita Wack and Bob Hercules, who came here and said, the way that you played it, not just at Sidney Meridius Arts Center, but also at the Quality of Life Center, for example, when we're working with kids at risk and the Heights Foundation, they said we're gonna change the way we distribute this film, because we prefer that it's even in these type of audiences over large national distribution and get lost on Netflix and get lost on Amazon Prime. You're dealing with kids who are now watching a film about Maya Angelou, who had very extreme difficult circumstances growing up, who said, who the kids then had a poetry performance, dance performances, and were inspired to up their game and to watch what it's like to come from a very difficult circumstance and to, I don't want to say prevail, but make a real life. So I don't know if that's too much, but certainly films in advance of their distribution that will get recognized, get honored in award capacity, and are widely distributed. They're playing here in Fort Myers before other places. So that type of film?
Yeah. When is it?
May 6th through 10th, 2020. And we do.
Oh, so we missed it. So it's next year.
Next year, yeah. But in September 2nd, and the first Monday of every month, downtown Fort Myers, you can come down to TGIM, thank God for Indie Mondays, where I host a film series showing some of the films that have been submitted to us from all over the world. Short films, 3 to 10 minutes, where we have judges. And I would like to invite you, Tim, to be a judge at one of these events. And you get to kind of hear how the audience feels about some of the films that are in consideration, and see how people see different things in a film, and people are moved by different things in a film, and how we miss things as a festival director. I feel like I miss what some people observe. But September 2nd, 7:00 p.m. at Sidney Byrne Davis Arts Center, $10. Come down, watch films in consideration. There's a bar open. We usually have some music, and we do a little party afterwards at Blue Sushi or Twisted Vine. But so and then September, October, November, December, January, February, March, we're doing that the first Monday of the month at Sidney Byrne. Come down and see films at the Fort Myers Film Festival. And then the big festival is in May. So you missed this last one, but September 2nd, everyone can come on down, and every first Monday of the month leading up to our big fest in 2020.
Well, if I'm judging, I'm going to make sure they know about it. I humbly accept your nomination to be a judge.
You're in. Pick a month. I think February we're all filled up, so we should have 3 judges. So I'll add you as a 4th. Don't tell anybody.
Okay.
I'm going to make you a 4th judge. So it'll be a little bit more like The Voice and a little less like the first season of American Idol.
You just tell me when to show up, and I'll be there.
Okay.
Hey, so just side note. So I was thinking this when you talk about the Florida Rep Theater. Do you know the O'Briens? You know Ben O'Brien and Christy and Aaron?
No.
Oh, okay.
Sorry. I should. That makes me, I guess, just to mention it makes me a total geek.
No,
she like a nerd.
Yeah, no, he's always he plays baseball. I coach Little League, and their family's really involved with Little League, but Ben is always he's 12, 12 or 13. He's always doing acting and whatever else. I was just curious, like, what advice would you have to someone like him? A kid that maybe wants to get into acting and
sure,
the arts like that.
And I'm going to answer this, and if I cut off,
I'm putting you on a spot here, by the way. Sorry.
No, I don't mind being on the spot. I'm just letting you know that I got a 10% warning, and I'm not plugged in, and you're going to hate me for saying that. But if I shut off, it's not me being rude. It's me not having a plug.
All right, you got to get the point in, Eric. Let's go. Come on.
Okay. So my advice is stick to your dreams. Anything you can imagine, you can achieve. Even if you aren't living in New York City or LA, there is plenty of time for you to sing, write, act, direct, be in a play. Florida Repertory's got kids summer camps, for example. Alliance for the Arts does as well. Fort Myers Film Festival has student entry way, and we're trying to reach out with the Raddatz Foundation, which I founded recently, to try to get all kids to be able to make their own films and present them on a wide variety of subjects. So there's a student entryway. You can make a film today. You can learn a song today. You can pick up an instrument today. You can go memorize every word from your favorite Broadway today. You can go to Broadway Pump Theater and audition for upcoming shows today. All this in Southwest Florida. Stick to your dreams. Don't give up. There's a lot of people who have lived here who have gone on to do big things and are enjoying quality life involved in the arts. It's not for everybody. Don't be disappointed if it doesn't take you maybe to your final destination, which would be playing, I don't know, the lead in Cats or Les Mis at Broadway, but any sort of movement, anything you really put your heart to, you can achieve. And along the way, you learn life experiences that'll be crucial to your professional career, to your family environment, and that'll be good for you in your interaction as you attain other goals in your professional careers, your family careers, your spiritual paths, whatever direction you're going. So as a young person, stick with it. You'll get there. And then when you do, mention to me so I can make the phone call and say, hey, it's Eric Raddatz of the Fort Myers Film Festival. Remember when you saw that podcast with Tim? Could I just get a ticket to see Cats in 2029? Because it is sold out because you are that good. I think everyone's got in them the potential to accomplish everything they can imagine.
There you go. Well, Ben O'Brien, there you go, buddy. Hope the words of Eric Raddatz inspired you. Also hope that some kid out there is going to be the future Chris Farley. I miss him so much. So, Eric, I appreciate it, man. Thank you very much. Keep us in contact with what you guys have going on. You want to come on again? You want to talk about some kind of event, or anyone that does? Open forum, buddy. Anytime. Okay.
Okay. Well, I've got a lot of people who I think would love to and thank me to be on your podcast. So I'm going to send you a bunch of names, and you let me know. And I'm happy to come on all the time. And I'm a big supporter of you and all that you're doing for this community. So thank you for all you do, Tim.
Got it, Eric. You got to take care. Thanks for being with us. You guys out there, if you're watching, don't forget, like, share, and subscribe. Would appreciate you. Shameless plug. I do mortgages for a living. If you're looking to buy a home, please keep me in mind. Be happy to help you. Call me anytime, 239-910-5668. Thank you guys for watching. Take care. Eric, again, thanks, buddy.
Thank you, Tim. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man, we got you out here before your battery died, too. That's good timing.
I know. Thank you. I probably got 7% left.
All right. See you, man. Find a charger.
That was good. Thanks, Tim.
Bye-bye.
Bye.